Former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern claims that the reason that Blizzard Entertainment canceled BlizzCon is because it is losing them lots of money. And Microsoft, who is the new owners of Blizzard, is now saying you have to make money. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com earlier this afternoon. And Kern expressed his thoughts after BlizzCon announced that, or excuse me, after Blizzard Entertainment announced that BlizzCon 2024 had been canceled in a blog post yesterday, April 25th. In the blog post, the company shared this. After careful consideration over the last year, we at Blizzard have made the decision not to hold BlizzCon in 2024. This decision was not made lightly, as BlizzCon remains a very special event for all of us, and we know many of you look forward to it. While we're approaching this year differently, and as we have explored different event formats in the past, rest assured that we are just as excited as ever to bring BlizzCon back in future years. They go on to talk about how they will be at a number of other conventions over the course of the year, including Gamescom, where they're going to be talking about World of Warcraft, The War Within, and I forget, there's a couple others on here as well that they're going to be going to DreamHack Dallas and DreamHack Stockholm, where they're going to be talking about Overwatch champions. So they will be at a bunch of conventions, but they will not be hosting BlizzCon 2024. The blog post does not indicate exactly why they have canceled the BlizzCon 2024. They don't provide any kind of details as to why they're canceling it, just saying that they are not going to be putting it on this year. Kern posted this under his popular Twitter handle Grums over on X. He says, BlizzCon does not turn a profit. In fact, we lost money on it every year. Blizzard saves a lot by canceling it, especially when customer sentiment is so low and there is nothing to announce. Microsoft is cost cutting because AAA is in bad shape. We've kind of seen this from a number of people. It's not just Mark Kern. The folks over at Larian Studios have been really kind of blistering a lot of their competitors, especially their AAA competitors, for basically killing AAA and basically berating them for bad business practices. But Kern elaborated on this in an interview with Andrew Chapados on his Unauthorized Opinions YouTube channel, along with myself. I was privileged to be part of that podcast episode. But this is what Kern said when speaking about Blizzard. It was kind of we were having a discussion about AAA gaming in general and how there's a lot of pressure now to actually make things that are profitable because a lot of the ESG DI money is drying up in the video game sphere. And I think just in entertainment in general, we're seeing contractions across the board. We're seeing that, I think, at the Walt Disney Company. You're seeing it at Warner Brothers. You're seeing it at a lot of these major movie production studios, and we're seeing it really coming to light here with a lot of these video game companies laying off massive amounts of people. We're seeing video game studios shut down. Saints Row developer Volition being shut down last year by Embracer Group, which is now being split off into three after their failed gambit to basically become the next EA. And then we're also seeing places like Luminous being shut down as well after their failure with Forspoken. So we are seeing these places get shut down. But this is what Kern said. He says the other thing that's happening is even Microsoft's affected. Microsoft and Blizzard canceled BlizzCon this year. That's unheard of. And BlizzCon never made money, and it's an extremely expensive show to produce. When I was there, we didn't make money on BlizzCon at all, and it was always a huge expense. But you did it because it was a huge marketing event for the game and for the company. So basically, what he doesn't really kind of explain that, but basically my interpretation of it is that you put it on as a loss leader, right? You put on this giant big event, you have all your people there. You might obviously there's a lot of expenses that go on with it. You're probably not really selling anything so much at the convention. I've never been to BlizzCon, so I'm not sure exactly what they were selling. I'm sure they had merchandise and licensings and things like that, and you could buy the games and everything back in the day, especially with physical and stuff. But nowadays, the way gaming is, a lot of it is digital. Not many people buy physical as much anymore. At least that seems to be the case. I know there's a big trend to get back to physical, but I'm not sure how many people are on that train. But I would assume that it's a giant loss leader, but you're trying to hype up products that are coming out. So you would be hyping up your next big game. It doesn't look like that there is really anything coming out. I mean, obviously they have that big World of Warcraft expansion. They have Overwatch Champions. I'm not really sure what that is, but there isn't anything like really, really big or huge for them to kind of promote that they would want to sell, that you would use that BlizzCon convention to really try and hype up and sell, because that is where you probably were going to be making your money. You have the big convention, you hype up your product, you get all these people on board, they spread it out to other people, and then you have your product sells really well because you got everyone on board and you've got a good quality solid product. But you might have taken a loss on the convention, but you make it up in the sales of your video games, your licensing, etc. In the future. So it looks like potentially that there is no real opportunity to do that this year, and it would just be a giant expense, and they would be losing a lot of money and not really maybe recuperating it, those costs sometime in the future. And clearly, I would assume that the number crunchers over at Blizzard and Microsoft probably made those calculations, and that is why this is being canceled. At least that's what Kern is positing here, and I probably agree with him here. But he went on and said, and so BlizzCon is canceled now, and that's Microsoft stepping in and saying, hey, no, we can't lose money. Everything has to make money. And this is the current mentality in AAA games, the current financial reality that they're facing. And so I actually think this is good. It looks like profit incentive is coming back. You have to make money. If you don't make money, you're going to be shut down. You're going to go the way of volition. You're going to see mass firings. Things are going to be shrunk. And it does indeed look like that. The profit incentive is back, and these companies have to make money now. They're not going to just be able to put out crappy games, expect players and consumers and purchasers to just buy them. You actually have to put out a quality product, and people have to want to buy them and have to have those sales numbers to reflect that. So I'm glad to see it. I hope this continues to happen. I think it will increase the quality of the games. And at least that's my hope. But we'll see what happens. And I think we'll also kind of run out a lot of this woke nonsense that is in games. Although I think that'll be a little bit harder to run out. Obviously, I think that the DEI ESG money has done what it intended to do. It wants to institutionalize a lot of these people, and I think that they have indeed been institutionalized. You see a lot of these companies do have DEI policies listed on their website. We'll see whether or not those policies remain in place moving forward, given the fact that not only is the money that was kind of pushing them to be enacted is drying up, but we're also seeing legal challenges being mounted now. I know that there was a recent Supreme Court ruling that some legal experts, specifically Bloomberg, was saying might actually pose a challenge to a lot of these DEI policies. We also know that America First Legal has filed an EEOC complaint against the Walt Disney Company over their DEI policies. So we'll see what happens with those legal proceedings. But it definitely looks like there is some challenge, not only obviously in kind of our sphere here, where it's just people talking about it, raising awareness, saying that this stuff is wrong, we need to oppose this, but we're also now seeing legal challenges, and it looks like potentially financial challenges to it as well. But let me know what you guys make of what Mark Kern has to say here as to why BlizzCon was canceled. Do you agree with him that it was canceled because it's a losing money and Microsoft needs to make money now on everything that they do? Or do you think there is potentially some other reason as to why BlizzCon was canceled? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, but to always speak the truth.